Didn't even get to my introduction. You just started talking. Fantastic. Good evening to those of you in the UK. Good afternoon to most of you in America on CST. And I'm sure East Coast is what, like 2, 3 hours? I don't know. I don't know your time differences in America. It's very confusing to me.
I understand. There's like three different time zones, so I completely get it. Obviously.
My name is Dale Rodriguez. I don't sound like a Rodriguez. And with me today, I have Raquel Flores. Hey, Raquel. How's it going?
Hola, Dale. You definitely do not look like Rodriguez, and I'm going to ask you. You know, that's a question I'm going to ask.
Where does my name come from?
Yes, because you definitely don't look like a Rodriguez.
I'm not sure how candid I should be because, like, sometimes I give an answer to make people feel uncomfortable. Honestly, so I've had people ask me as a work, and I'm like, slave name, and they're like,
Oh,
"What?
Jesus. Ooh,
What
okay.
is it?"
Well,
Because I like messing with people. Okay.
I am so happy to be here. Thank you so much for the invitation. I know you and I have crossed paths in the past, and due to our dear friend Nick Smether, so shout out to you, Boo, out of the UK as well. But yeah, I'm so happy to be here. You have quite the show and the name for the show. I still, it's amazing. It's like it blows my mind. So tell
I
me a
mean,
little bit about that.
what the name of the show?
Yes.
Well, again, our mutual friend, acquaintance, homie. Let's go with homie.
Yes, he's
Nick
a
Smethers
homie.
and I clicked on LinkedIn. So I did my very first live stream about a year ago, trying to promote my own business, and it was complete social stuff. It was not selling at all. It wasn't about my business. It was just me being a geek, and I can't remember exactly how it happened, but we found out that Nick and I have the same favorite superhero, the Silver
Mm-hmm.
Surfer,
Silver
and
Surfer.
and like he's a rare favorite. Not everyone likes him. Like it was Superman, Spider Man, Batman, some big names. I was like, oh no way! And it just turns out, like honestly, Nick is like my brother from another mother. Like just we have so much in common, even though we never really met face to face yet. Anyway, fast forward, I started making these shows a little bit more serious,
Mm-hmm.
in so much as that LinkedIn. At the time, I had loads of people complaining that LinkedIn was becoming too much like Facebook and too much social stuff and not enough business stuff. And to some extent, I
Mm.
kind of agree because sometimes I see people just posting about the dog every day. I'm like, I don't give a shit about your dog. If I'm honest, excuse my language, I shouldn't say that. Um, and then they need to add value for their content. At the same time, LinkedIn has transformed from just a this is who we are, this is what we do, sell, 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 to actually uh, personal branding, content creation,
Mm-hmm.
which I know is your forte.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I'm answering your question in a really long way.
Hey, it's okay. It's lunchtime, man. Come on, it's lunchtime here. I know for
Oh
you
yeah,
it's like 6 o'clock already. You
oh
know,
yeah.
dinner time.
I've got my beer going. I'm good.
Oh, well, cheers to that. Well, hey, I got coffee. I got coffee, not tea. Sorry, I don't do the tea.
Never apologize for drinking coffee.
We're
Never.
going to get into that like debate. To be honest with you, oh my gosh, tea or coffee, Mister?
Always coffee. I am the worst Brit ever. To answer your first question though, um, I wanted to name the show, and I asked people to give me name suggestions. I even thought of a few of my own. And out of his head, in his Mancunian accent, we were talking just like this. Nick went, "Flabonga Monthrothacube," and I went, "The fudge is that?" And he went, "I was like, does it mean anything?" He went, "No, I just made it up." I was like, "Mate, I'm gonna give that a go," and it's stuck. It's stuck. It is what it is.
That sounds like definitely something Nick would say, and and yes, the things that come out of his mouth. But I'm telling you, they've been the most colorful and definitely creative and entertaining. So thank you, Nick. You're getting a lot of love from us, aren't you?
I am, and also I've noticed there's people in the chat as well. So Sia, she says,
Yes.
"Tea when sick, coffee every day." Okay, okay.
And she says, "Are you in prison, mate?"
Am I in prison?
Yes, because it's like they put a painting up or something. See, I have my globe.
I mean, I do have this really cool background
I
to
have
make
my
sure, but yeah, but
crown back there.
yeah, yeah, your crown. Oh, hi, Darren. Darren Glanville's watching as well.
Oh my
Hey, man, he
gosh,
says
this is
hola.
hilarious.
Ah, and Mike Ashbrainer. He's a cool dude.
Yes. You know
He's a
those
firefighter, right? Is that right?
yes,
That's right.
yes.
Yeah.
Definitely Mike Asherbanner, shout out to you. One of the biggest influences in my life, life changing for sure. Leader of the Hounds and the Pack. So definitely, that's the group that I belong to. So we love you. And he's always such a supporter. And also Sia, the fabulous Sia,
With one
as you
B.
know.
Sorry.
Yeah, you see, so you're no longer in prison now, right, Dale?
I mean, yeah, it's a really dope background. I like that. I like when that does that. Like, yeah.
But anyhow, so again, I love the fact, I love your show just because you're so unique, you're so creative, you're candid in your questions when, with your guests. And so it's just amazing. So I wanted to say thank you for considering me and for inviting me. I always love it.
Oh, well, again, I always say to people who come on this, like, thank you for doing it because it's about you. It's asking you things about industries I don't know. I ask the silly questions other people might want to ask but are afraid to. So yeah, thank you for doing it as well. So, first question.
Ooh.
You live in Houston. What's it like living in Houston?
Was it like living in Houston?
Yeah.
Wow.
Houston,
Well, I
Texas, right?
tell you, Houston, Texas, in the United States, man, I've been here since 1993 when I arrived to the States from El Salvador. Houston has been one of the most embracing cities ever. I haven't left. I've been here for the last, 30 something years. That tells me my age. And, but it's a multi pot, like really, it's like a melting pot, right? It embraces different cultures. And that's one of the reasons that I think I've stayed here, just
Mhm.
because of how free and flexible people can be. We have the Southern hospitality. I don't know if you've heard that, how important that is for us.
So I've heard it about America, and it's quite funny. In the UK, it is reversed. So there's a saying that people in the north of England are usually friendlier than people in the south. But I know, yeah, in the south you've got the southern hospitality.
Yes, so it's reverse for us. In the South, we're definitely very, very friendly. And we sometimes, when we travel to the North, it's just like, oh, they're not the same as it. Like, we really take things personal because we're not rude like that. We really embrace individuals. And so, to answer your question about Houston, what is it like? I love it just because we have all the different cultures that you can think of from around the world, the different foods. It's such a huge city and filled with foodies. I'm a foodie too.
Mm.
And then we have the sea. We have the sea not too far away from us in Galveston, which is about 45-minute drive. It's not the best representation of sea and beach, but hey, we have one.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's better than nothing. I get it. Yeah, sure.
It is better than nothing. So we also have one of the most, if not the most important medical center in the world, MD Anderson for sure in the medical center, right?
So
And
which
so in
medical centre is that?
cancer
Sorry.
research, MD Anderson in cancer
Okay.
research, right? So it's one of our medical centers is one of the best around the world. So we have a lot of companies here too. They deal with petroleum, with that. Just oh, so you're back in prison now.
Yeah, I'm back. I'm back in prison.
Yes.
Cool.
Okay. So yeah. So we
Basically,
really.
I was too distracted looking at myself, which I know it's not about me. So I was like, I better stop looking at me and listen to you. I know, very shallow, very vain.
Got you, got you. But yeah, so Houston for me is where it's at. Everybody's coming to Texas, to be honest with you, just because the cost of living here is cheaper than anywhere, well, except a couple of states. I think it's
Hmm.
Mississippi, if I'm not mistaken, is the cheapest one. But cost of living here is very reasonable compared to northern states, like everywhere. And plus, we don't have snow. It's hot.
But I was gonna say, how hot is it there right now? Because we have snow right now. There's snow. If I look out my window, there's snow outside. So,
How hot it is right now?
hmm.
You're asking me? Okay, so right now we have you had Celsius, we have Fahrenheit. So
Hmm.
right now it's 82 degrees here in Houston. I don't know what that would be in Celsius. So let's do that if you don't mind. 82 Fahrenheit to Celsius.
Hmm.
It is 27 degrees Celsius.
That's a good wintertime temperature. That's good.
Do you see? Well, right now we're in
Yeah.
spring, so all the allergies are like, yeah, all the trees and the
But do
pollen.
you
Oof.
have dangerous animals, right? Because I know in Florida they got gators. In other parts of America you got certain snakes. Are you top of the food chain in Houston?
No,
No.
no, I
Mm.
wouldn't think so. No, I mean we do get the snakes, but that's when you go further out, into the woods and things like that. But no, I don't. We
Mm.
don't have any predators that I can
Cool.
think of.
Because some people complain about the UK as like, we're like the apex predator in the UK. Like some places in America got bears. I'm like, I can't be dealing with bears. Like as strong as I think I am, I'm not strong as a bear. Like that's never gonna work. It's not gonna end well for
Yeah,
me.
no, we definitely don't have none of that. We don't. It doesn't scare us. No.
Sweet. How many
So
languages do you speak? Because I know you are multilingual.
right, so it's like a polyglot. That's what they're called, right?
Thank you.
Okay, so initially from El Salvador, I speak Spanish, right?
Mhm.
Espanol is in my heart, it's my mother tongue. Second language that I learned was English when I came here. And then I picked up Portuguese.
Mm.
After that, I started diving a little bit more into French. I am forgetting it because I don't use it as much. All right.
Say, last time you heard me speak French on the live stream, you critiqued my pronunciation because I asked a silly question. Please help me
I
with some of these pronunciations. So should we go from French to Portuguese to Spanish? See if I can get some things said correctly. Hopefully, Spanish will be the best one because of my last name.
but see, that's what I'm saying. I wanted you to explain to me, where is your last name from, and like how did it come to you?
Okay, so
So
but both of my parents are Jamaican. And
Jamaican.
go back to both generations. So like my great sets of grandparents are Jamaican. Other than that, I really don't know. I have no idea how my grandfather is Rodriguez.
Wow.
His grandfather before him, I haven't really done much research on it. But yeah, no idea. Fully don't know.
That is so cool though, just because I know you're in Europe, but and you have Spaniards, right?
Hmm.
You can have that. I just don't understand, like Jamaica
Hmm.
and then UK. You were born in the UK,
Hmm.
so it's just like,
I
right?
mean,
And then your
Jam-
accent.
yes, my accent. I mean, Jamaica's motto is "out of many, one people." So it is a like one of those places, a melting pot of cultures. You're
Hmm.
Jamaican, but there's people from all over the world that are there. Lots of different ethnicities and racial backgrounds. So it's a very big melting pot. I mean, like Jamaican cuisine, there's lots of curry, and again, that's because there's lots of Asian people there and Indian, actual Eastern Indian people there as well. So yeah.
Hmm.
Oh,
Hmm.
okay. Harry, I can't say his last name. It's Greek. Constantinadis. Constantinadis.
Constantinides. Hey,
Constantinidis. Sorry,
hi.
Constantine. He says, "Big up Jamrock, Jamaica, my second home." Hey, Harry, that's cool.
Yeah. Okay. That's awesome. Well, shout out to you. Thank you for tuning in. He's actually tuning in from Canada, Toronto,
Oh
Canada.
wow,
So,
that's cool. You're getting a
yes,
lot of love, by the
yes.
way. You've got Janice Shokrien. Hey Raquel, you've got Neela. She's awesome as
Hi.
well, by the way. She's dope. I love her content. She's saying hello to you.
Yes. See, but that's the beauty of the community, right? And I know that one of the points that we wanted to talk about was that basically the power of the community, the power of networking. Why are we on LinkedIn? Some people are on LinkedIn for different reasons, and so I guess I'm jumping the gun here on your
That's all right.
question.
No, it's cool.
But y'all, we were having a very deep conversation in the backstage, so it's just like it's just
Very few of my conversations are deep, and we know this. Come on, come on.
come on. But yeah, so when we were talking about why am I on this platform and why I'm doing what I'm doing, and again, what drives me, it's really knowing that we can make an impact in the world and an impact in communities, right? But it starts with one. It starts with you and what exactly it is that you want to do. So I'm on this platform really trying to make a difference and inspiring individuals, especially women. Why? Because you see that? I mean, today we're celebrating the International Women's Day. So I want to send a big shout out to all the beautiful women around the world. And that's why I also wanted to be here because I wanted to be, a voice and representation for
Okay.
all those women
So
all
first
over
of
the
all,
world.
I didn't realize it was Women's International Women's Day today
A
at
lot
all.
of men didn't.
Like I scheduled a live stream early with Giselle Hunt from Next Minute, and we chatted, and I was like, "Oh yes, it's Women's Day," and then we had to schedule in. So, question for you: what does women's empowerment mean to you, or look like to you?
So to me, it
Hmm.
is the freedom of expression, right? To feel liberated from anything that binds us and holds us back. And I take myself whenever I am reaching out and trying to help individuals. It's in its sense, is I'm trying to save me from that person that was encaged for so long.
Hmm.
And we're not gonna get into like relationships and stuff like that, but that's where it comes. My empowerment is I knew I had a voice. I was suppressed, right? And for a woman to be courageous and to still be resilient despite all the difficulties that she faces on a daily basis, that
Hmm.
to me is the epitome of what empowerment is for a woman.
And I'm assuming, it's kind of a loaded question. Do you think it means different things to different women?
Yes, I do believe that. And it it can be because of several factors, right? But the
Hmm.
main one I always rely on and go back is cultural, right? Cultural and education.
Hmm.
Those two. Those two
Okay.
definitely, because it would influence the decisions that you make in life, right? And the opportunities that actually present themselves.
Okay. That was a really good
Yeah.
answer. Thank you. I'm going to
Thank
shift
you.
gears a little bit. So, your professional background, I know your LinkedIn profile, you are focusing on kind of collaboration, content creation, and networking, which is fantastic. But what did you do before you decided to kind of expand your LinkedIn network and focus on that area?
Yeah, absolutely. So prior to that, for the longest, I've been in the healthcare industry. So
Mm,
as an advocate for elderly individuals with disabilities. So my master's is in public health. Public health just it's such a broad, complex topic, to be honest with you.
especially in
But
America.
yes, it really is. We have like so many 302 to over 300 million population, right? And
Hmm.
just to think about the elderly population for the baby boomers that are turning 65, right? Our system is really not ready, hasn't been ready,
Hmm.
and we're not ready to take care of all of those individuals that are turning 65 and falling into Medicare and Medicaid, right? I
Hmm.
don't know. Do y'all have Medicare, Medicaid type
So, is
similar over
Medicare
there?
your kind of state-supported, government-funded support system? Is that right? Healthcare?
Once you turn 65, it's Medicare, or if you're disabled. But if you're underserved,
Yeah.
or you don't make a certain you have needs, it's
Hmm.
Medicaid. So do y'all have
Okay.
something like that?
So in the UK, we have a national health system. So all all healthcare is free, so to speak. Everyone is taxed a
Hmm.
certain amount, national insurance contributions, and that goes to the pot, and that goes to everybody. It's a national health system.
Right. Okay. So for me, what spoke to my heart, right? I was working with the elderly who are in underserved communities,
Hmm.
or the populations that really don't, they get left behind or get forgotten. So that's what I did after I graduated from Texas A&M University. I got to give him a big shout, a whoop. So yes, and I worked in that industry, in the back end, right?
Okay.
But I just felt that my 9 to 5 in the corporate world was not really conducive to what my heart was saying to me, that I needed to be out there making a bigger difference. So there was a point where I decided just to leave corporate America.
Oh wow,
I
just
left.
like that must have been a hard decision, right? Because you
Oh,
had a career, built your career, network contacts, and you just.
yes.
I mean, it must have been. It couldn't have been an easy decision to make, but it couldn't have been just a drop like that, right? Or was it scheduled, planned?
No, it was definitely not scheduled. It was not planned. It was
Okay.
more of what my heart was speaking to me. I'm not going to get into the whole religious thing, but I would say I'm very spiritual.
Mm,
And over the last 3 years, ever since I had my second daughter, like, there's just something snapped within my heart that said there's urgency of me finding my purpose. So
mm,
everything that I'm doing ever since then has been very intentful and filled with purpose.
mm,
And so I definitely walked away from a corporate job not having a backup plan. I just knew that I had this dream. I wanted to make sure that I start building something that would empower women to wake up, snap out of it, and go out there and really, really make the world a better place. Because so many women in the line of where I was working, right, in the industry that I was dealing with all of the elderly. When I went to sit at the table with the elderly, who usually was the one who was taking care of that person? It was usually the son's wife, right?
mm.
The
Yeah.
sister-in-law,
Yeah.
whoever it was. But it was always a female person. It was always a
Hmm.
female, different age ranges. And I would really sit down because I would be so interested in their story. And I
Hmm.
was going through a lot of things myself as a person, but I would be interested in the stories and seeing where they would be mentally with their dreams. I would ask, well, what do you want to do? They're like, oh, I have a passion for doing this, or I have a passion for doing that. Why haven't you gotten it? Why haven't you gone? Oh, well, I don't have time. That was one of the usual ones.
Hmm.
Oh,
Hmm.
well, my husband, he says it's not needed. Or, I'm scared.
Yeah.
So all these different excuses, all these different things that they saw as fears, to me, it was just like, oh my gosh, we have so much potential sitting behind those seats in their homes, in their dining rooms, so much potential to create new entrepreneurs, to have all these businesses that could
Hmm.
serve a specific need. And they're just sitting there, welting away.
Yeah. And
It
in
broke
this
my
day and
heart.
age, it's easier to do. I'm gonna share a bit of my bias. I'm a systems advisory person manager for an accounting firm, and
Hmm.
the ability to have your bookkeeping system on your phone, have multiple businesses running, they have to be like super high turnover, and having that income stream has never been easier. I'm not gonna patronize or condescend to anyone who's scared of starting their own business, but right now, is a golden time to be starting your own thing, making your side hustle into something a bit bigger, because it's never been easier to do that, if I'm honest.
Yes,
I'm
and that's
biased.
absolutely true. No, no, it's not biased, but you're true. It's right. It's correct when you say that, and it's an easier time for women at this moment too, because there is a lot of support out there.
There's a lady I met a couple of months ago on a networking event, and I don't know if it's a phrase that she's coined or she's used before. Mompreneur. Like, have you heard
Mompreneur.
of that? Yeah, the idea if you've got that, those 20 minutes extra a week that moms don't, might have, you can actually set up a business, do a little something, something, and empower yourself, enable yourself in that way to get extra income, and yeah, it can grow from there.
Uh,
So,
yeah, absolutely. So that's where my rally, right, my mission, it stems from the elderly, but it has
mm,
transgressed and kind of like translated to other realms that encompass what I've been going through as a person in the personal trauma and what I've seen firsthand. And so to me, it's really meaningful when I say I'm out here really trying to inspire the world, inspire individuals. It goes both ways. It goes for men and female.
mm,
But more than anything, I have a soft spot for women just because I'm one, too.
mm,
So we're able to resonate and we're able to understand our trials and struggles. So as a mom too, I'm a single mom, so I'm able to convey and I'm able to be empathetic to individuals who are in that same boat and
mm,
trying to get out, trying to forge a better future for their children. So like I said, I've drawn from so many different past trauma that
mm.
I feel that everybody can and should make their trauma count in a positive way, right? To empower and encompass and help those behind us. So,
Yeah. I'm going to ask you a silly question because that was all
okay.
very serious and important stuff. Why is your name all in caps? Raquel Flores. Why are you shouting at us? Why is it in caps? Are you that important? Like, so you've got a crown behind you. Let's go zoom out again. Let's zoom out. There we go.
Oh,
Let's
it's
just
my crown.
grab the crown.
Don't
Yeah.
make me put it on.
I'm not gonna. Oh, wait. First of all, I'm not
No.
gonna make you do anything. And if I had the power to make women do what I want, I wouldn't make them wear crowns. That's for sure. That sounds really bad. But I wouldn't waste it on that.
I wear a crown daily. This one. It's my smile. So,
That is
my
the
gappy
coolest and
tooth
lamest thing
smile.
you ever said to me ever. So anyway, please tell. I mean, go on, give it a little try. Just a little.
No.
Well, let's put this to the people there who want to see Raquel wear a crown. So Ankit Patel joining
No.
us. Happy Women's Day. Harry, if you guys are still watching, see you if you're here. Like, if you just want to, let Raquel know that she
Everybody
should
just
wear the
wants to see
crown.
me wear a crown. No, we're all queens in our own rights. We have so much power. We're magical creatures. We make the world go round, and I will say that bold statement because I think we do. So, but to answer your question, I am not shouting. Is
Mhm.
I This is something that in healthcare we use. We really type in all caps, and so after doing it for 13 years, it's just like it's just innate in me.
Okay, just all caps. I thought it was you being like, I'm a big deal. I have my name in capitals. Like, fine. You do
No,
you.
no, no,
Okay,
that's not me.
pronunciation challenges. So
Oh
if you give me
gosh.
some things to say in French, and I'll ask you to say a few things in a British English because it's funny when you do it. Sorry, I shouldn't laugh at
Okay,
you.
well
Sorry.
I'll try to do the British. How about you tell me a phrase? I don't know. This is gonna sound. I'm gonna butcher it. So I'm so sorry, everybody in the
Okay.
UK.
Okay. Well, it's interesting because when we say the UK accent, like there's like 10 accents. Mine is just one of them.
Okay,
Um,
can you impersonate some of them? I mean, can you make them like so we can find the difference?
oh, I can try, and the
Okay.
people that I'll do it to, they'll get offended because I'm not going to do a very good job. I
Oh
mean, you've
no.
spoken to Nick before. You know he and I speak
Yes.
very differently. All right, so you got some people like, yeah, they talk like this. They're like from like South London, South East, South West. You get me? And it's a little bit like, I don't know, like it's slang. It's a little bit slow. It's like quick. I can't explain it yet, but they got like things and words like that are kind of mixed together, and there's like, yeah, that kind of vibe in it. Yeah, they're in it. That's
In
a
it.
thing in it. It's a, I don't know what the
In
word
it.
is. It's always saying isn't it in it.
Right. Yeah, I've seen. No, 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 no. I've heard several people I've spoken to. They do say that in it, or
Yeah,
something
yeah.
like that, right?
They sound just like that. Yeah.
Oh,
Um,
yay!
no, I'm messing with you. That wasn't great. But
Oh,
again, if I tried to do an American accent, like it would be, it wouldn't be good. I'm honest. I don't.
Yeah, no, I know I'll butcher it. I promise you. But it's one of those things that I when I spoken to Nick, he does say the difference.
Let's try one. Would you like a cup of tea or a cup of coffee?
Oh gosh. Okay. Would you like a cup of tea, a cup of coffee? That sounded New York.
That's awesome. And Harry knows it. Harry knows it's a London ting. Yes, he's right.
Ting.
It's
So
a London ting.
it's okay, okay. Because I would have said that that was maybe like your Jamaican roots. You say ting, instead of thing.
It's interesting you say that. So that accent I've done there is, it does come from West Indian heritage. So a lot of black British people speak that way because they've got that Jamaican or Caribbean patois. So they
That's
say
the
ting.
swag, that flavor.
Yeah, and it's one of those things that's now becoming ingrained in society. So lots of people in London speak that way, regardless of their colour or their background. It's like a London thing, or one of the accents. You've also got Cockney, which is a more traditional London accent, which I really can't do.
I can't.
Yeah, I can't. I
I
can't. I
can't.
can't. Do,
I
I
can't
can't do.
do.
I can't
I
do it.
can't do.
It's like really hard. Like I can't. It's so
Oh
so difficult.
man, I am doing
How
such
bad
a
is my American
disservice.
accent? Is it okay? Is it like too much, too thick, too rich? Like what is it like? It's okay.
You're American. I mean, it just you say, "Hey, welcome to Texas." Say that.
Hey, welcome to Texas.
No, but don't put the enunciation. Just welcome to Texas.
Welcome to Texas.
You're like, yeah, no, it ain't working for me.
I'm trying. I'm trying so hard. So hard.
Okay, hard. Yeah,
Hard. It's really hard
I
for me to
can't.
speak this
But
way.
yeah, no. Nick always makes fun of me because of aluminum. He's like, where? Aluminum, aluminium, aluminum.
Aluminum.
Oh, difficult.
Aluminium. Aluminium. Yeah, we say that
What's the
differently.
right word? What's the right pronunciation?
Well, I'm British English, so I'm going to say aluminium. Why on earth would I say aluminum?
But the funny part is that in Spanish is aluminio. So I get that,
Hmm.
and I just don't know how we just lost one letter in English, aluminum,
I mean,
right?
there's lots of things American English does differently to British English, for sure.
Football.
Yep.
Football.
You all don't play that with your feet.
Gosh, we're
Sit
not
down.
gonna get there. I love
Sit
both.
down.
I love football and football with the foot. Soccer.
Soccer. Let's play some soccer.
Let's go play some soccer, mate.
Let's play some soccer. Okay, well, there's one thing I do love and dislike about America, right? Right. This is very controversial because I know some Americans are watching. The way
Oh
you guys
no.
broadcast TV and sports is abysmal. In so much as I like American football, by the way. Baltimore Ravens are my team. Boop. Watching the Super Bowl is fun, but also, how many commercials do you lot need? Like, it's insane. And they're almost always pharmaceutical adverts. Like, have this drug now, blah 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 blah. Side effects include blah 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 blah. It's like, why would I take that? Why would I ever take that drug? It sounds terrible.
I'm sorry.
Terrible. What's that about?
Yes, the side effects are like, well, why would I want that? Then I'm gonna have it. I need a pill for my side effects. I don't know.
Right? It's like Ectrosol may give you rectal bleeding. I was like, that's not a good headache pill, man. Just take paracetamol. Get me? Like, it's been around for a while. It's no.
Oh my God. No, I can't. Yeah, I completely understand where you're coming from. Yes, the side effects are even scarier than the actual illness itself.
And going back to American sports, one thing that's kind of cool that you do differently than we do, you have stats upon stats upon stats in every sport. We don't really do that so much in the UK. Our commentators are not spouting out stats about the player, their foot size, how many goals scored this season. Like they might do a little bit, but like not to the extent that you guys do.
Yeah, I think we tend to overcomplicate things and just overanalyze some things when it comes to the statistics. So I get it. Oh my gosh. So
Harry thinks
I
you sound like an
still
Australian, by the way.
oh gosh. Yeah. Yes, I know. But mate is Australian. I mean, that's something that I say.
Good day, mate.
Bobby, good night, mate. Let's go, Bobby.
What's that? Sorry.
Let's go, Bobby. I don't know. Like,
Oh,
let's
like a
go to a
barbecue.
barbecue. Yeah, Bobby. The
Oh, I thought it was
Bobby.
Bobby, like Bobbi. Like, who's Bobby? Who are we talking about? Okay, how about this? How
Oh
about I
my
try and say some Spanish
gosh.
stuff and you can laugh at my Spanish accent or lack thereof?
No, the first thing that I'm gonna make you do is roll the R.
Can't do it.
That's the first thing.
Can't do it.
Yes, you say.
I've tried
So
so hard. I've tried to learn for the last
you're
30
gonna
plus
sound
years. I've
Spaniard.
tried.
Okay, I'm gonna say rosas rojas. Rosas rojas. Those
Rosas.
are red roses.
Rosas. Can I do it without the rolling?
Rosas rojas.
Rosas rojas. I can't.
You did it. You did it. I know. I love when Mike rolls his R's. It sounds like the Terminator. Raquel.
Can he do it though? Because I genuinely can't.
So rosas rojas. Rosas rojas.
Rosas rojas.
Okay, so you did it. You did it. You just
I didn't roll my R's though.
obviously, huh?
I mean, I did take Spanish in school, and the only thing I can remember is la mantequilla es en mi basura.
La mantequilla está en tu basura.
Mm.
Why
In mi
would the butter be
basura?
in the trash can?
I don't know. Just stupid phrases. I should remember things.
Oh my god. Okay, yeah, that was hilarious. That it makes absolute no sense, but you see, that's the beauty because I would approach you and I would just start bursting out in my Spanish. It's like, oh, hey, Rodriguez, let's go. Yeah. Let's talk in Spanish. And you'd be like,
I'm like,
yeah.
¿qué?
Be like,
Soda. No hablas español. That's what I've been
But
like.
isn't this the beauty of it, right? It's
Mm.
it's the how cultures really have meshed over time and just names and last names and everything. I just think it's so there's a beauty in there. For example, like my children, they're biracial, bicultural. Dad is Dominican, and I'm from El Salvador. That's a beautiful mix. But when you look at my children, you wouldn't really be able to say like, oh, yeah, they're mixed or they're biracial.
Mm.
But then that's something that they will have to learn how to deal with as they grow up.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, through my lens, I just see that as such a beautiful thing, right? Because they're unique in their own essence, and they're able to embody that mesh that we're eventually all going to be in the world in eons from now. I guess that's going to happen, right? That's where we're all going to, right?
Yeah. There's like an episode of South Park all about it where everyone just turns a beige color brown and we speak some weird clicking language. So yeah.
But the weird part of it is, well, not the weird part that you just mentioned, beige. I asked my daughter, okay, well, what color are you? We were talking about that specific subject, and she's like beige, and I'm like, huh? Beige. That was interesting for her to come up with that to define. So it was either nor black nor white nor brown. She said beige, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. So yeah, well, maybe we need to be adding that soon, right?
That
to the choices.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that is so cool. But to go back to the healthcare, right? I know we just got so digressed with everything.
I did it on
But
purpose.
that usually happens with you though. So I'm used to it.
You blaming me?
No, I'm not blaming you. It's just the way the conversation is. It's so comfortable. So, right. So from that healthcare background that I have, now I'm on this platform really helping empower women, helping empower individuals to come to their own right. And by way of doing that is encouraging the entrepreneurs, encouraging these women to come on and branch out, right? Start these businesses. There are many resources out there to be able to do so and have support. They don't have to do it alone. And that's why I opened up my platform too and my time to be able to do these coffee chats with individuals all over the world. Trust me, like I think I did one. Gosh, I forgot exactly, but it was like a 13-hour difference. They were like in the next day already, but it was like so early for them. But I still want to be able to do that because that in itself is encouraging and nurturing collaboration, networking, and the power that it could bring for both, right? Once you start collaborating with an individual, you don't have to be in the same industry. But if y'all have a common goal of what to do, and obviously if it's cemented in heart language, as I say, then magical is going to happen. Like magical things are going to come out of that in the project. So that's why when people approach me like, hey, I want to chat with you, think about this idea and see if we can do something together, I'm always open to it. You know why? Because the sun shines for everyone and it comes out for everybody. And like I always say, there's another spot on the table for somebody else as well. So
I just assume this one comes out just for me. That's how big my ego is. Look, even to the point where I've changed my name to full caps. Like it's.
Oh my gosh, you really
full
did
caps, so I
do.
thought I had to do full caps. So you're trying to tell me the sun doesn't come out just for me?
No, it comes out for a lot of people.
Mind blown.
Yes. So
If you
yeah.
were
So
a
that's
what kind of cookie would you be? That
Oh
actually
my
portrays your
goodness.
personality and why, but don't just pick your favorite cookie.
I would be a sugar cookie.
A sugar cookie.
Why? Because I'm
Portrays
sweet.
personality. That is like the cheesiest
The
dating
cheesiest.
line I've ever heard. Like, do
Well, I
you
do
guys have
love
Love Island in the
cheese.
States? Do you have Love Island? No.
Which ones?
Love Island. It's a TV show. Do you have that?
Man, you're talking to the wrong person. I
Oh,
miss like a
it's
huge
kind of like The
chunk
Bachelor,
of
but
American
worse. It's like
history.
The Bachelor, Bachelorette. Like it's a dating show. It's to get.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, but I don't think it's called Love Island. I think it's I don't watch TV that much,
I
so
was gonna say your answer was kind of like a Bachelorette kind of answer.
yeah, that's what it
I'm a
was.
sugar cookie.
Bachelorette,
You are
bachelors
quite
and
sweet.
bachelorette.
You're quite sweet. Although I get the feeling though, right? If I crossed you the wrong way or hurt your babies in any way, that sweetness would just switch right off.
I am Salvadoran after all.
Right? There's some peppery firiness going on there. I think you got a little bit of a gangster lean going on in the background. I mean, that's a compliment, by the way.
But that's the Houstonian thing in me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we get quite a rep about H Town. So Houston, yeah, we got ourselves. We get it back. I'm from Fifth Ward in Houston. For people who know that, what that means.
What?
Hey,
Yeah, repping the hood. I don't know if you've heard that, but it's all right. Okay, what does leaning like a cholo mean?
gosh, he's just lean. You know,
Leaning like
he's
a cholo.
just lean.
What's
You
a cholo?
swag. You know you got it, but you just lean. That's so old though.
I know it's
That's
old,
like
but
way old.
yeah, I know. That song came out years ago, but what is a cholo?
Yeah. Quick question. So, what
Hmm.
is your favorite food? Since you asked me a silly question.
My favorite food,
Yes.
all of them.
No, that doesn't make sense.
Okay, honestly, I would have to say chicken. Not for racial stereotype reasons.
I'm not going. I wasn't
Legit.
mentioning that. I wasn't
It's
saying anything.
no, but like someone asked me this question at their work, like if you could only have one meat for the rest of your life, what would it be? And some people went steak because it's delicious. Like yeah, but like chicken is versatile, it's kind of cheap, and you can do so much with it. So for me, chicken is just like
I agree with you on that. I think I would do chicken for sure. And
yeah,
you've mentioned that you make a killer jerk chicken, right?
yeah.
Like that's like your big.
Use my granny's recipe and everything. Like I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I use the sauce from the jar because I can't be bothered to make the sauce from scratch or the marinade from scratch. But I will make the marinade from scratch. I've got a smoker that I built, and I put it on low and slow, like a good 2 hours of that chicken just been smoked over
Mhm.
cherry wood with the marinade that's been in the fridge for like a day or two. And yes, I'm very biased, but it's very delicious. You're welcome to have some when you come to the UK.
Yeah, well, I'm planning on it in a few months, to be honest with you. So I'm very excited about that. I may have to either I don't know ship some pupusas out over there, which is a national and traditional dish from El Salvador. I'm sure you've never had it.
No, I don't even know what that is. What is it? Can you describe it?
Yeah. Okay. So equate it to a, and I don't like to make
You're
this
gonna compare it to some other
comparison.
kind of like food that's not that food, but something that I might know, like a quesadilla, right? And you'd be like, it's not a quesadilla
Right.
because you're not
So
Mexican. Yeah.
a
Okay.
gordita.
Yeah.
Okay. Gosh, and I'm over here Americanizing it. A gordita. Right. Do you
Gordita.
know what a gordita is?
No idea. We
Okay.
don't have much Hispanic food in the UK.
You don't even
Okay.
have tortillas. Gosh,
Well,
that's so
why would we?
different.
We have like no Mexicans. Like, why would we?
Oh my God.
Would you?
Okay. So a tortilla, right? You know what a
Yeah.
tortilla looks
I know
like.
what
Okay.
tortilla
So
is. Yeah.
this is a thicker version. A gordita has a thicker version tortilla. And
Hmm.
inside, they cook it and they open it, and inside, or they slice it and they put all sorts of meats and whatever, right? So, but the tortilla is cooked at before. With the pupusa, it's different, right? The pupusa, you have the dough in a ball, and then you start putting all the ingredients in there, and then you do this,
Yeah.
and then you put it on the actual grill. So that's the difference. And it could be chicharrón, which is pork, cheese.
I'm gonna change my favorite food answer. I said chicken. Actually, I would say pie is my favorite food because again, you can have sweet, you can have savory, and I like the simplicity of it. And what you just described there, it's not a pie, but it's got that kind of like self-contained deliciousness, right?
True.
Right?
Yeah, and it's versatile. So I like that. You're smart. Smart man. Smart man. But
Sorry,
that's why
because you were
you're in
telling me about
fintech.
pupusas, so that it made me think of pies, but I know they're not the same. I'm aware.
Okay. No, you're. It's not weird. It's just it's a matter of taste. So how do we bring this back to the actual topic?
What was the topic? I've lost it. I've lost the topic. Right?
No, but this is why I like the fact that we can actually bond, right, across the world in different topics with different things that we have as similarities or differences, right? But even those differences do unite us. And I love that. I love the essence of that. And a lot of people are not open. Many people are not open to do that just because they're afraid of the, oh, I don't know what that means, or the unknown, right? But once you start changing your outlook, right? Once you start changing the way you view the world,
Hmm.
it's like a whole different realm opens. And I think that's another reason why I'm on this platform, to really show individuals that not only can we be different and be proud of our differences, but we can also unite and come together, with our similarities, and really, really bind ourselves to different, just experiences. I think, for lack of a better word. Does that make sense? Maybe I'm getting too poetic here.
No, not at all. I'm
I,
giving you
I
the
am a
space
dreamer.
to just, flow. I'm enjoying the wisdomness. But again, like Sia, I mean this is a compliment. You ladies are way older than you look. Like,
Oh,
like way older
oh,
than
well,
you look.
geez, did you just call me old, Dale?
No, I did
Dang.
not. I said you're way older than you look. Just process that for a minute.
Uh, I may act like I'm, 15 or something, but it's one of those things. So, hi, Gracie. Nice to
Ah,
see you. Thank you so much, and happy International Women's Day to you too. Oh, that's so
Gracie
sweet.
Ruth
Gracie
Melendez.
Ruth Melendez.
Melendez.
Melendez. Yeah, but if you're from Spain, it's Melendez.
I mean,
From hmm
whenever I try and speak Spanish, I think of Antonio Banderas, and I just try and do his voice,
uh,
which is not how people act. That's his way of speaking. That's not how all the Spanish people speak. Hola, cómo estás, señorita?
no,
No,
that's
not
not
good
how
enough.
everybody
No,
speaks.
I know.
No.
Like I'm a big anime fan, and I've learned a bit of Japanese, and the way they speak Japanese in anime is not how Japanese people speak in real life. I can assure you that.
Okay, I know nothing about anime. So, like,
Japanese
seriously.
cartoons. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, no, so I know what anime
Oh,
is. I
okay.
just don't know, like, characters, like stories, like none of that. Like, it's a foreign world to me. Um and this is one thing that I was actually talking to Sia about too, that I missed, just because I came to the United States at such an early age, and also I missed so much of that chunk of history from
Mm-hmm.
like the mid 90s to like the mid 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like I missed so much because I was so busy learning English,
Mm-hmm.
that a lot of the pop culture, and Nick knows this too, a lot of the pop culture, I don't know. So if you reference a lot of the stuff, I would be like, I don't know what you're talking about.
So, if it's not too much of a personal question, why is it you came from El Salvador to the US? Like your parents moved you because you said you were young, so obviously they did. Do you know why they did it, or?
Okay, so in the book that I haven't yet completed, that I will soon complete, that I'm writing, it's a memoir pretty much. It does go into the story of, exactly what happened and what made my parents move, but I'll be more than happy to share it. Back in, gosh, in the 80s or late 70s and early 80s, there was a horrendous civil war in El Salvador. A lot of the
Mm-hmm.
families who actually migrated it's from El Salvador to the United States were
Mm-hmm.
fleeing that war. It was senseless. It was horrific. As a child, I saw things that I shouldn't have seen, and right now we're getting to the dark area.
No, this
But
is important stuff. It's important stuff.
right, so it really made me who I am today, just because I saw so much suffering. I saw things that I shouldn't have really seen, and but my parents immigrated first. I was separated from my parents for 7 years. I was back in El Salvador, and they were here in the States.
Wow. So both
Yeah,
parents.
my both parents. So I didn't reunite with my parents 7 years till 7 years later in
That's tough.
1993.
That's very
Uh,
tough.
I guess I was little. I was 2, 3 year old when they left. I don't remember. And then I reunited with them when I was 9, almost 10.
So were you with
So
family when they were here, like an auntie or an uncle or something, or?
yes, I was with my paternal grandmother, who did a fantastic job at raising us. And, she was such a matriarch, really, really, like a true definition of what a matriarch is.
Mm-hmm.
And she was able to care for us. And, but like I said, if I had stayed in El Salvador, I don't know what it would have been. I really don't know. Maybe I wouldn't be alive at this moment. So it's sad stories. But, and again, that type of situation, unfortunately, is still going on in other countries nowadays. So that's where I go back and I say I'm drawing for so much experience that I have, that I lived in my life, that I've seen so much suffering, I've experienced so much suffering, that the only thing I want to do is just give all this love and be kind and inspire the same in others, right? So we can live together and be happy. One big happy family. I'm a dreamer.
I agree. Happiness is good.
But I've been so labeled though because I'm a dreamer. And a lot of people are like, oh, "You're living La La Land." I'm like, "Well, I like La La Land. I really do."
I just thought of another pop culture reference that one you won't
Oh,
get because it's a song that
jeez.
came out in the UK. What's the name of the band? I have to Google it. Oh wait, I've still got the
Yeah,
caps lock on.
I promise you, I suffer so much because people get so frustrated with me. They're like, "You don't know this movie? You don't know this song?" And I'm like, "No, not
Well,
because I'm dumb. It's just,
yeah, you know, that's right. My ex-wife, she didn't grow up with a TV. She's not dumb. She just didn't watch TV because her parents didn't want to have one. And
we
so
weren't
there are lots of
exposed."
pop culture references you didn't get. The song I was thinking of is "I'm a Dreamer" by Living Joy or Live in Joy.
You
I
want
don't know
to
if that.
sing it?
Uh, to be honest, the only bit I know is the kind of the chorus bit, and it's "I'm a dreamer." That's it. It's a kind of dancey, clubby track from the 90s. 90s? 80s? Yeah. It's a banger. Absolute banger.
Okay. Okay. Well, maybe I'm gonna have to listen. Send me the link or something. But see, and Nick also had told me maybe Raquel, you should do one of those reaction, shows where you go back or somebody like Sia, sends me back in time and like, did you see that? React to this. You haven't seen it. And I'm like, okay.
That would be amazing, especially with some of the, I don't like using this word very much, but the wokeness stuff. So I recently learned that Song of the South, Disney cartoon movie, has been cancelled. And so much as it's not shown anywhere anymore because it's considered racist. And I was like, I used to love that film as a kid. Zippity doo dah, zippity. Oh, you know that one, right? You know that
I
reference?
think I've heard it.
My oh my. But you watching that now, if you've never watched it before, it would be interesting to see your take on it with a modern perspective. Yeah,
Right.
because there's some parts of it
Yeah.
aren't so great because it is set in like the early 20th century America on a plantation in the South, and there was a guy called Uncle Remus who
Oh.
is straight up a slave. Like, there's no way about it.
Oh, yeah, no, I think it is just one of those things that, like I said, I've been so living under a rock with so many different topics or things that I haven't been exposed to. And it's not because I just haven't gone back and I'm like, okay, let me, just soak everything in. I just don't feel like it's necessary at this point in my life or what I'm trying to do.
Yeah,
Does
you're
that
an
make
entrepreneur, growing
sense?
your own business. You got kids. You got stuff to do. You can't be going back and binge watching Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Like you ain't got time for that. You know what I mean? You might know what they are, but you don't need to watch it. Saying that, in the last, I don't know, couple of years, you say you don't get many pop culture references because of your past and how you grew up. What is the weirdest one you've heard on? Be like, what? That was really a thing? Like, were you just really surprised that it's a thing, or didn't, or the word was weird? Because I can imagine, like, if you've never seen a Furby before, and someone said, "Hey, Furbies, they were dope." You're like, "The hell's a Furby?" Do,
I've seen those little, yeah, I've seen a Furby though. I know what they are. I've seen them.
what
I've seen the
for you? So
image.
has
They
anyone
were
kind of said
weird.
something in the last couple of years where you've been like, "That was a popular thing"? Wow, that's really taken me aback. I'm taken
No,
aback by that. No.
no, no. And that's the thing that a lot of people are like, that's what they get shocked. They're like, how do you not know this? And I'm like, I just don't know. I'm not from here. I didn't grow up here pretty much. And so when y'all were busy playing, I was busy learning English. So, and that's one of those things that I'm like, okay, maybe I will take the time soon to actually pay homage to that, right? Just because it's something that I could then teach my kids and they can, or, who knows if it's important or not. It's one of those things. But
Wait, you mean
yeah,
learning English or watching TV?
uh, going back and watching trash TV, as I
I
call
mean,
it.
some of it's golden. Some of it's golden TV. Golden.
True. That they say that some is golden. It's just especially like movies and stuff like that. But I will have to take up see on that offer soon. Maybe we'll do one of those reaction shows.
I
Who
think you
knows?
should. I think you should.
It'll be fun.
So wait, you know, do you know who shot JR?
Uh uh
No,
maybe. No.
never mind. Like one of
No.
the most pinnacle 90s TV moments of all time. Like just Google it after this. Like who shot JR, and it will
I will.
explain.
Okay, I will. But you're okay.
Yeah,
you're,
yeah.
you're like, man, this girl talks too much. I can talk for hours.
No, no. I'm enjoying our conversation. Honestly, I'm conscious of your time because this is a working day for you. Like I'm already at
Hmm.
home. Got my beer
Hmm.
in my hand. Nom, 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 nom.
Oh, that is true. I keep thinking that it is your lunchtime too, but no, I forget because I know you usually do your shows during lunchtime.
I do.
Your
See,
lunchtime.
when I was my own business owner, I did them whenever I felt like it. But as an employee, I want to respect my employer's time, so I do it in my lunch break because I don't think they're not paying me to live stream and mess around. I mean, sometimes I promote their brand a little bit, but not too much. So yeah, it's a personal thing.
Yeah. What is Valerie saying? What am I trash watching?
What are you trash
Yeah,
watching?
I don't really watch, this is a sad situation for some people, I guess it would. But I'm really such a busy person in the sense of like, I'm a single mommy. I have two girls that keep me on my toes all the time. I
Mm.
really hardly ever have time to watch TV. So even current, like now, they're like, oh, that news show, or have you seen this? You know what happened in the news? And frankly, I really don't like watching the news sometimes because they depress me. News depress me a lot.
They're never happy stories.
They're and so that's why I thrive off of really finding the good stuff, not just like sulking on the negativity. We can get informed, right?
I was gonna say
You
I
were
was
gonna
on the
say,
news once. I was on ABC local news in California.
oh,
Yeah.
why?
I got to be an entrepreneur in residence in Brookdale Senior Living home facility. Yeah, and
Okay.
I stayed in the home for like 2 weeks. It was really cool.
So what was that part of like the
So I
research or I
so
don't know?
I worked for an Estonian startup company, and they had
Okay.
created a video video messaging device that could plug into any flat screen TV, right? An idea being that many older adults of that generation aren't so great
Mm-hmm.
or au fait
Mm-hmm.
with tech, so smartphones, all that kind of stuff. So it'd be a case of I, as the younger person, can have the app on my phone like any other app. My
Mm-hmm.
grandmother, who's 80 years old, who's not so good with tech, can have this thing plugged into a TV. If I want to check on her, came with a little camera, a little box, and it would switch from the TV to the call. And she could just press, it had like 4 buttons on it, and she could press boop, call, and that's it. And she could have an overlay as well, so you could have me on in the corner, her still watching a show, and have a chat as well, right? And Brookdale, they're a really big company in the USA for senior care, and they do, like I said, an entrepreneur residence program. So the idea is, if you are an entrepreneur bringing something to the market in the UK, Brookdale will invite you in. You get to stay in one of their homes, one of their facilities, and actually just engage with people who live there, and at
Hmm.
some point ask them about the product. So interactive user testing, I guess. Yeah, it was really cool.
It's quite that was a creative take of, how to approach that. So that was interesting. What was it? How did it feel for you to be in LA, I guess?
Uh, actually wasn't in LA. I was in is it Torrance? Is that right? Torrance?
Oh, okay.
Near the beach. Um,
Okay.
yeah, and it's cool. I mean, one of the good things about it is I know that in tech specifically, when people are
Hmm.
trying to progress things, they can be too prescriptive. Oh, we think the problem's this, we'll go do it. And if you don't
Hmm.
talk to some of your potential users, which a lot of people do overlook older adults,
Hmm.
and I think they come up with a solution, it just doesn't work or doesn't get used. This way, when these companies come in with an idea or a solution, it has had some kind of on the ground user testing. Like it's okay, look, and it's at little to no cost to Brookdale, and it's little to no cost to the startup. So I think that's a good idea because I actually got feedback from people who might be
Hmm.
using it, and they got to build some relationships as well. Like it wasn't like a sales thing. It was literally just look,
Hmm.
ingratiate yourself into their way of living, see what they're doing, and see how your solution might fit, and if it's even needed.
Right. Right.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay. Okay. As you can see, at the end, my family here.
that's cool.
You hear them in the background. Yeah, it's almost at lunchtime, right? But that's interesting. Well, thank you for sharing that information. Definitely, that's this. It's yeah. I know Valerie saying there that what you were testing. Maybe you want to answer that question.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
Sorry. Yeah, Valerie Quintana.
Quintana. Mm-hmm.
Quintana. Oh, see, look, see, you said it wrong, Quintana.
It's
What
okay.
were you testing? My mum is on memory care innovation needed. So like I said, the company is, I'm not sure if it's still going, called Centab, and like I said, it was a
Mm-hmm.
video calling device. It did have some healthcare metrics in it, so it did have like you could plug in like a blood pressure cuff, and you could get the readings, and that would be stored on the system, and that could be uploaded to your doctor. It's very cool. I don't know how if it had any kind of memory care stuff on it, so yeah, might be worth looking into that.
Okay. Well, now you know that we saw that comment pop up, and I would encourage everybody in the comments to reach out. If you're new, give me a follow, connect. I'm always looking to connect with individuals who are really looking forward to collaborate or be part of a community that is very meaningful and intentful. So, thought I'd put that out there.
I'm just in it for the likes, so don't connect with me. I just get my
You're
ego
you
pumped.
vanity metrics. You
Just,
what?
yeah,
You like the vanity metrics, right?
yeah, just for the likes, really. Don't even like
Yes.
people that much.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, you guys know he's being sarcastic there. He's
No,
joking. You're a great individual, Dale, and
thank you.
that's why I love you because you're awesome. You really are trying to make a difference in the world.
I also think you're awesome. I know we're just like, stroking each other's egos right now, but I think you're a genuinely cool human being who deserves a ton of success, in my humble opinion.
Oh, well, thank you. I think all as Sia says, she has a lot of wisdom. I'm just like, hi, Sia. I saw you in the
Because again,
comments
she's older
earlier.
than she looks. That's
Well, as she says, all ships rise with the tide, right? So, and I usually say, hey, the sun shines for a lot of people and for everybody. So, it's one of those things that I want to give out, to the world as much as I can of myself and impact in a powerful way, right? And in a positive and powerful way. So, if I can help change one individual's life for the better and help inspire another one, just keep it going. It's a domino effect, right? And
okay.
yay, we're a big happy family.
So, two more questions because we'll kind of bring this to a close because you've got lunch to eat and kids to feed. Um, Again, so why would someone reach out and connect with you? Just very clearly, what apart from connecting and growing networks, what specifically would they come to you for? That's the one question.
Sure. Okay. So I said, I do consulting as well. That's my background in healthcare, but I also do business consulting. So
Hmm.
people usually reach out to me just to get some sort of guidance. That's why I always ask the first question is, what are you doing on LinkedIn? What is your
Right.
purpose of doing on LinkedIn or being on LinkedIn, and what do you want to do with it? And if it's a business standpoint, if it's more of a growing a network, a growing a community, or being part of something more meaningful than just
Hmm.
going with the flow,
Yep.
then that's another reason, right? Because everybody in our community is part of a big effort of nurturing and encouraging one another. We support. I'm telling you, like we have your back, and we get so many people from different industries. It's not just segmented to one. So I like to don myself the title of the world's best friend because I do enjoy talking to people from all over the world. No lie, like, and we have so many different people in my network from all walks of life, just because it's so inclusive, right? As long
Hmm.
as you have the right intent. So if you're looking to grow your brand, if you're looking
Hmm.
to have more exposure, more visibility for your business, or just you in general as an entrepreneur,
Hmm.
that's the type of stuff that I would offer at the moment, the type of services that I would offer.
Fantastic.
Counseling. Mhm.
Sorry, I didn't want to cut you off there. I'll say
No.
final question: do you have any nuggets or pearls of wisdom that you just want to share? No agenda, just if you want to say it based on anything that's popped into your head from this conversation.
From this conversation,
Hmm.
I mean, like I said, yeah, I know you always make me laugh, and I enjoy our conversations. But from this, I definitely what I want to take, and given that it's Women's International Women's Day, I definitely want to encourage individuals who have a very key, important female in their lives to support them, really support them in their dreams. Whatever it is that they're trying to attain, don't clip their wings. Please encourage them and nurture that dream that you never know. Hey, that dream may blow up to the next big idea and you'll be taken care for life. So that's how I usually do it.
Cool, that's awesome. And on that bombshell, I'm gonna hit end stream. I don't know if it's like StreamYard where it ends straight away, but let's just do a freeze
I
pause.
don't know, but thank you all. I love you all. And I'll